Welcome back to the table. Today, Elisha and I are going to play some Divinity Original Sin, the board game. Now, we have already played some. We played through the tutorial about a week ago, so it's been a minute, but we're picking up where we left off, and we're going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. With that said, we probably will be sharing a little bit of the narrative. We'll try to paraphrase when we can, but long story short, we were on a ship. We were sort of prisoners on a ship.
Yeah.
Then we got broken free. Then we had some fights, and we explored around. Effectively, the tutorial lets you go through some of the main things you're going to be doing in the game, in particular combat. And then the second part of the tutorial lets you kind of explore around and, of course, also get a little bit more combat. Now, in the tutorial, we ran into some issues where you
died instantly, or I,
got knocked out.
Yes.
She was downed, as they say in the game.
Immediately.
In our first fight, it was some bad rolling on our part, but the game is meant to do that because there's reviving. It's one of the actions you can take. So some of your teammates and some of the player characters will be down from time to time. It is just part of the system that you have to kind of navigate. Hopefully, we won't see that happen immediately today. So, flash forward to right now, our ship has wrecked, and we're in a location called the Shipwreck. I'm going to read just the beginning of this shipwreck to give you an idea of what's happening, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. Like I said, I don't want to ruin it. So, it says, Shipwreck. You wake to the sounds of waves crashing. As your eyes flicker open, you squint from the blazing sun to take in a beach littered with the shattered remains of your ship. Sitting up, you sink slightly into the hot sand that stretches out along the tropical coastline. Now, that's just the first paragraph, but I wanted to read that to give you an idea of kind of the writing and the flavor. If you are familiar with Larian Studios, these are the people who made the Divinity series. More recently, they made Baldur's Gate, so they know how to write an RPG, and the writing is intact here. There will probably be some more things that we're reading along the way. But like I said, we'll try to paraphrase those, and we might put anything up, if you want to read it, on screen so you can read it at your leisure. We stuck with the characters that we started with. You do have an option to sort of reset and create new characters, but we stuck with, I'm Ifin or Ifin, and you are
Sabia, or Sabili, if you're from the southern region.
Yeah, Sabil. And what do you have going on?
So I'm more of like an assassin rogue type because I've got a dagger, I got some robes, I was able to pick up a trinket that lets me do some dice mitigation, and I got a lot of powers that lend to being a sneaky, stealthy assassin with a lot of invisibility.
Yeah, her invisibility is really cool because a lot of her actions, including just the sort of assassin's dagger she has, is better if she's invisible, as it would be expected. I'm more of the brute a little bit. I'm a fighter. I have a long sword. Some of my abilities, I have things like battering ram, where I'm going to run around to the different spots and spaces at a location and then run into someone, hopefully stunning them. Some of the game systems at play here, there's a big cooldown system.
Yeah.
Our characters and the minions as they come out will have effects. Some of our actions that we take will go down into our cooldown track above our board, and they will move down, and then we'll get those actions back or get rid of status effects that we don't want. But that's kind of the situation as it stands with the shipwreck, and each location is going to have a little bit of a setup here. So can you read that? Because I cannot from here.
Yeah, so it says take out the shipwreck location deck.
That is this right here. Yep. It's a big deck of cards.
And it says set the time tracker to 10 for 2 people.
Which we have right here. Yep. The time tracker is going to be effectively do a few things. At the end of each round, we're going to move it down, and then it might trigger some events as we move it down, including this final event, which is typically going to be either you failed or you're pushed on to the next location.
Right, and so we got to place all origins, which is us, into location 1, which is called the Shallows. And then the last thing we have to do is reveal journal cards 38, 39, and 40.
All right, so while she gets the journal cards, these are the ones I will put up on screen. We're going to read them off screen really quick so that we understand what's going on. And like I said, I'll try to paraphrase them when we come back. All right, we have read the cards, and just to paraphrase, again, I'll put them up on screen briefly if you want to pause and read them. But to paraphrase, there's a few things that were happening that kind of serves as a glue between the narrative on the location and what we're needing to do. There's effectively 3 things laid out. One, we heard a voice that kind of told us that it wasn't our time to die and wanted us to go after this character that we ran into a minion of in the tutorial. There's another one that talked about smugglers on this island that we've crashed on that we might need to deal with. And then the last one was a conversation we overheard on the ship before it wrecked that talked about some form of rebellion. So there's 3 things there, and the journal deck is going to play a role. The rules suggest that it might have more of a role to play because there's icons on those cards, so we'll see how that plays out, but we have no idea as of right now. So each round in this game, when you're at a location, if there's no enemies out, we can either explore or rest. We don't need to rest, so we're going to be exploring. If we go into combat, which means there's any enemies on this location, it will be a combat round. But we have the luxury right now of exploring.
For now.
So exploring lets us, we can move to any of these that are connected, which all of these are connected right now. We're starting at the shallows, which in this game, this is a new thing in this location. You see there's 4 cards here. Usually a location is going to have 1 thing to kind of investigate or interact with. This is telling us that this one has 4. So if we stay here, we're going to take those 4 cards out, hopefully not looking at them too much and cheating. And then I'll shuffle them up under the table and we'll see what we get.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Do we want to just stay there? So we just wrecked. I'm guessing there's stuff to find.
I mean,
here.
It's a shipwreck. There's got to be some cool stuff to find.
So we're going to explore there. And that's what you do. Effectively, all the players at the table, and if we were playing with 4 people, we could have all split up. And then at each location, the group decides what they want to do. We read the cards for each location before you have to decide which one you want to interact with first. So I'm going to take cards 1, 1, 1, 1 out.
Okay, no peeking.
No peeking. I will shuffle them up under the table, and I will let you pick one.
2.
2. All right, 2 is this one. Do you want to read that, or do you want me to do the honors?
I will go ahead and read it. Let's hope
right.
I do all right. All right, the storm has pushed large portions of the ship into a craggy part of the shoreline, including remnants of the captain's quarters. Waves crash against the rocks, making each area treacherous, and you weigh the risks of investigating the wreckage against the rewards you might discover there. Seems like treasure.
Yeah, I'm sure, hopefully it's something good.
I know. 1 origin. Here, make a challenge roll to cross the rocks. If no one does, place this card in the holding area.
Yeah, so the holding area, typically, if we were like seeing this and we'd split up and we thought, oh, so-and-so that's over there might be better at this because it lists some keywords here and we all have keywords on our cards, we might put this in the holding area and wait and come back and do it. But we could do it now since we're both here. The keywords here, so the check is going to be rolling 3 white dice to try to get successes. But if you have huntsman or animal or rogue or teleportation, there's bonuses. In fact, teleportation, if you had that, it's an automatic success. You just win it. Neither of us have teleportation, but you do have rogue.
I am a rogue, so I've got the outlaw, rogue, and corpse eater.
Yeah, I have mercenary and outlaw, so I think you should be the one to do it.
Sure, because I get a bump, right?
And you get a blue die in addition to those. So we don't know what we're trying to roll, but high is probably better.
I know, stuff, not blanks, right?
Stuff. So little explosions, which are usually damage in combat, but in this case, they are successes.
All right, here we go.
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
2, a little symbol here that you see, that doesn't come into play in this, but we've got a 2. So I'm going to flip the card.
Okay.
1 to 2.
Okay.
We didn't get anything great. Move to location 4. Return this card to the location deck. So in the rare occasion, most cards are discarded. This one says return to the location deck, so we can come back and try this again. And that moved her to location 4. All right. So that is the end of a round. That is an exploration round, so we have to move this down. Now we have 9.
You don't get to do anything? Is it because we're together?
Yeah, we're just doing everything together.
Okay.
Really, the only time that you're doing things separately is if you've split up and you're both doing things. But again, that's going to affect the whole party. Or in combat, you're taking turns, of course, when you're taking all of your actions in combat.
Okay.
So, the end of the round, we are in the next round. Now we're in 2 locations. we can explore again. So you could move, or you could explore here.
Okay.
And I could explore here.
Okay.
I don't know what is here.
No.
We could encounter enemies again. And if we do, it's not horrible that she's way over there. I'll just have to move there if there's enemies there, or vice versa.
Okay.
So you want to...
I will go ahead and explore. We'll see what the situation is. But it's just going to be the one card, right?
That's going to be the one card. I have to get all 4 cards out again.
Okay.
There's your one card.
All right.
And I will do this, and you can...
You choose. It's your exploration spot.
Oh. I will pick 2 again.
Okay.
This is different.
Oh.
So I'll put these back.
Okay.
So I'll read mine, and then you can read yours.
All right.
And then we can decide which we want to do. Thankfully, this isn't enemies, at least not on this side. Large planks from the shipwreck have washed ashore here. As you drag some of the wooden boards aside, you discover some broken crates partially buried in the sand. Each origin here may make a challenge roll to search the crates. Now...
Wish we were together then.
If no one does, place this card in the holding area. I do think we should wait so you could search with me.
Yeah? What are the keywords? Anything?
Cultist, scholar, and hydrosophist.
Not me.
None of us. None of that helps
But
us.
we would each get a challenge roll in case.
Yeah, so what is yours?
Mine is Cliff Face. A fortress stands in the distance, its stone walls nestled up against a tall rock outcropping. You have no doubt that it is the infamous Fort Joy. Squinting under the bright sun, you make out silhouettes descending upon the beach. Reveal journal card 17.
So do we want to do yours?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, well, let's do mine. I'm not going to do it, so I'm going to put it in the holding area.
So we're going to do mine.
Well, we do both normally.
Okay.
But I'm choosing not to do this, and that says put it in the holding area, so now I am done.
Okay.
Now we can do this.
So it says reveal journal card 17 and then flip this card.
All right.
Would you like to do the honors?
I will do the honors, and I am going to, because this is part of the gameplay, I will read this one out loud.
Okay.
It says, a few brawny prisoners, and what did it say? There were
Talks about
figures descending.
Yes,
so people are coming
silhouettes.
down from maybe Fort Joy. A few brawny prisoners appear on the beach, having made their way down from the fort. Mm-hmm. More fish washed up, one of them jokes, as the others begin to salvage for supplies in the shipwreck. A word to the wise, coin can only get you so far at the Joy. Griff's always looking for more muscle. He can be your inside man, just like he's done for your fellow shipmate, Darkhan, who came through the fort already. So, spoiler alert, Darkhan is some bad figure that we've heard about before. We did fight one of his lackeys on the ship in the tutorial, but that is the situation with this journal card, and we'll just put it here in the journal. And as you read these, we haven't gotten this far, but I believe there's a component where you store your journal cards as you play through the campaign.
So you're sort of keeping track of the story?
Keeping track of the story and those little icons.
Okay, and so now I get to flip this card. Though the beach may offer more supplies, making your way to the fort could provide more direct answers. The party may go to Fort Joy, entrance, page 5. If you decide not to, place this in the holding area.
Let's place it in the holding area for now.
Yeah, because I think we want to do yours, maybe try to find some stuff before we go.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so we'll put both of those in the holding area. Again, that's the end of a round. So this is going to go down to 8. So we've got some time, although I don't know what happens at A and B.
Yeah.
C is most definitely going to be the end. Do you want to come back here so we can do that thing? Because this is an exit, just so you know. And we are very tempted to exit because we did push our luck in the tutorial. So, but with that said, we have not explored anything. So we could explore at least this location before we exit. Maybe go up here and check it out.
So let me go ahead and come back to you, which is going to take one of my actions.
No action points. That's just combat.
Oh.
Yeah, during exploration, you can just go, I'm going to go all the way here for nothing. It's just nothing.
Okay.
We all just discuss where we want to go, go there, and do a thing. So we're back at the shallows. So we're doing this.
Yes.
I won't read it again, but we're doing this check because we're rummaging through some broken crates.
Okay.
So we're rolling 3 white each.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yes, do that.
The keywords do nothing for us.
Okay.
So we'll see what I get first. That's not
a
bad.
solid roll.
I got a 4. What are you going to get?
Ugh, I don't know that I'm going to beat that, but...
Hopefully. I mean, 4 better be the most successful thing back there.
Right? Oh,
1. Maybe not as successful.
Well...
And I'll point this out. We're not going to use this here unless you really want to. We each have this source token. And at our level, we only have 1 of them to use. But during a location, you can get rid of the source token to reroll any amount of die from one of your rolls.
Yeah.
Elisha could do that right now, but
No.
that would be a shame.
Right.
Especially during combat, we really want it.
And you rolled pretty well, but, I will say that you shouldn't be afraid to use these because you will get these back at the end, like when you move on to the next area. So don't feel like you're going to collect a whole pile of them. You're definitely going to get it replaced, but I don't know that this is the time to use this.
I agree. So let's see. You got a 1?
I got a 1.
I got a 4.
Okay.
So 1, you get something.
What?
So on a 1 to 3, you collect some coins scattered in the sand.
Nice.
Gain 2 gold. We have 3 right now, so I'll just change it to a 5.
All right.
So you collectively add gold to your sort of party's pool. I got a 4 or more. The crate contains some coins. Gain 3 gold.
So you got 1 more gold than me?
Yeah, that's all for my awesome roll.
I know.
I rolled 3 more than her, but only got 1 more gold. But we have 6 gold now.
That's nice.
Which will be nice. We haven't used gold much. Between the tutorial and this, we had the opportunity to interact with a merchant, but that doesn't happen during the tutorial. Mm-hmm. So we will see that when we go to the next location. Now this gets discarded. That's the end of that round. This goes down to 7. We are getting close to whatever A is.
Dun, dun, dun.
It could be good. It could be bad. Probably bad. And now it's another exploration round. So we could search here again. I mean, we've got 2 more cards here. One of them is inevitably an enemy, is my guess.
Yeah.
We know what this is.
Yep.
We could go up there and check it out. But I'd say before we leave, my vote is to search a little bit more.
Roll the dice on that. And
yeah, you want to do that?
More. Yeah.
All right. So we have how many cards left?
There should be 3, I think. Because one of them.
Oh yeah, one of them went back.
That's right.
And I did just happen to glance. There are enemies on one of these.
What? So. Why are you looking?
I didn't mean
Spoiler.
to. I didn't mean to. I'm gonna let you pick.
2.
2?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick 2.
Pick again.
What?
So crocodiles. This says shallows. Spawn the following enemies and place this card in the active combat stack. When all enemies are defeated, all origins are down, flip this card. This is effectively how all enemies work. Something spawns enemies on the board, then we're going into combat until combat is over. At 2 players, it shows here that we're going to get 1 fast crocodile and 0 slow crocodiles. So the crocodile is going to come in at location 1. I'm going to move some stuff here because we have to bring in a crocodile.
Make room.
Make room for crocodile. Yeah, we'll have to move quite a bit.
Okay.
You take, actually, I'm going to put this up here. That's where that goes to signify that we're in a combat round. I will find the crocodile.
So what does it mean between fast and slow?
So fast, it's kind of the initiative. In fact, it's very much the initiative in how it works in this game. Enemies that are fast will all execute their actions before you. Then the origins, that's us, go. And then any slow enemies or minions will go. So the crocodile is going to get first strike here. I'm going to put the crocodile in this little board. The crocodile starts with 24 health.
What?
That's a lot more. By the way, she has 7, and I have 9.
Yeah.
I only have 9 because I have a trait here that gave me an extra 2. But 24 is a lot. That Dark Hands minion or lackey that we fought, I think, was also in the low 20s. And it was no small feat to defeat them.
Yeah.
24 health. He's got 2 physical defense against, or 2 defense against physical, 2 defense against magic attacks. His attack is 3 white dice plus 2, plus he has a special effect if he rolls any of those unique symbols against us.
Yikes.
So we are now in a combat round. That was the end of an exploration round.
So we got to go down again.
So this goes down again, and now we're in combat. So as soon as this goes down, though, it hits A. So we have to look into this deck to see what the A card is.
Nervous.
I mean, unless it's just that crocodile and we found him early. That would be nice.
Or it's just like, hey, waves crash, wash away the crocodile, everybody's safe.
Well, waves crash. It says, sea waves crash onto the beach. Flip this card. It does not say wash away the crocodile.
Dang it.
All spaces on the map become wet. So, all of these are the spaces, and as you can see, the space we're in is already wet because that's where we washed up. So all the other spaces are going to get wet. And what this means is if we're fighting in those spaces, any attack or damage that you take is going to be increased by 2 if you're in that space, only if it's water damage that's coming in. So the crocodile doesn't have any water damage. I don't think either of us have anything that does water damage.
No.
So my guess is that won't have any effect on us. But that is going to get discarded too. And now, like I said, we are in a combat round. And the crocodile is going to go first. First thing you do with any enemy minion that attacks, you roll this little black die. This dictates who they're going to target. It's the targeting die. And if it's the boot, it's going to go to the closest of us, in which case we can choose. Mm-hmm. And then in the case of the other symbol, the little like reticule, he is going to target whoever has the lowest physical defense.
That's me.
Which would be you. She has +2 to her physical defense. I have +3. So do you want to do the honors since you're at risk?
Of course I am.
Hopefully it's the boot.
I feel like I'm going to insta-die, just like the last time.
It is the boot!
Woo!
Picking me?
Yeah, I'm picking you.
She'll pick me every time, I think.
Absolutely.
So the alligator is going to roll 3 white, and it's +2, and we'll see what happens here. Hopefully no extra symbols. Oh my gosh.
Steven.
That is a bad roll.
That's not a good one for sure.
I can't do anything about that except defend it. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And with this, he's going to do +3 and cause bleeding. So
You're going to take 5.
Well, I have 3 defense.
Right, but that just defends that. He gets a +2 plus the extra.
Oh, that's right. That was hurting. That would have nearly killed you.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And you're bleeding.
And I'm bleeding. Not a great start.
No.
Bleeding.
Does it say where?
Yeah, 2.
Yep. 2. And what does that mean?
At the start of your turn, I'll take 1 undefendable damage, and if I move during my combat, spending action points, I will take a damage. So I'm not going to be moving. I'm going to be staying put. That was rough.
That wasn't great.
That's rough, too, because my battering ram is great when I move, but I'd kill myself doing it.
You're not doing that right now.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I will, since you took a swipe. How about that?
That's good. That's
Okay.
good. Plus, she has an ability that causes poisoning. We
Yes.
use this in the tutorial, and I have an ability that does better when something is poisoned, so that it might be better if she goes first anyway.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my combat phase, which means I bring this up to 4 because that's what I've got here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make myself invisible, since that seems to be my thing. I'm going to put that down into cooldown number 4.
What's that called? Chameleon.
Chameleon,
So
yes.
Chameleon, all the cards that you play, they'll have like a little cooldown symbol in the upper left-hand corner. And this one in particular says to keep it face up because it has an ongoing effect as well.
Right.
And then it's going to flip over later once it's cooled down. Most of my actions when I use them, they will all flip over after I've used them.
Yep.
So now you're invisible.
Yep.
For at least 2 rounds.
Right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Assassin's Dagger because that's the one that does poison damage if I have a successful roll.
That did cost you 1 action
Oh,
point,
you're
though.
right. Thank you very much. So taking
gotta
that
watch
down
her.
1. I know, right?
You gotta watch both of us, to be quite honest.
Such a cheater.
It's on you.
Woo!
Comment
All right.
below every time we accidentally cheat.
I know. All right, so I'm going to need 2 blue die, please.
2 blue.
Yes. All right.
Oh, and you're invisible, so you
I
get to
am.
set one, right?
Oh, you're right. Yep, set 1 die to any face. So I'm going to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, the dagger is sweet.
Yeah, so
Because
I'm going
she's
to go ahead
gonna
and do that.
guarantee-
I'm going to guarantee the poisoning because that symbol there guarantees the poison.
And a hit.
Yes.
I mean, at least, hopefully it'll go through.
Woo!
So 2 physical hits.
2 physical hits, and it's poisoned. And then after I attack with this, the target gains indefensible damage equal to the number of symbols. So it's got a defensive 2, so it's not going to take these 2 hits. But because I rolled the 1 symbol, it's going to get 1 indefensible damage, and it's going to be poisoned.
Yeah. That's good. The poison is the good part.
Yes.
And the poison, all these status effect cards have 2 sides. One for the players, and then you flip it over, and it's a landscaped orientation for them. And in this case, it's the same. He's going to take 2 undefendable damage at the beginning of their turn. And that's it for poison, actually.
Okay.
It's kind of like bleeding, but worse. You've got more to do.
I do.
Was that your dagger?
That was my dagger,
So that was
I
another.
take that
See,
down.
we already cheating
Another
again.
one. Hey, settle down.
Keep stabbing.
Shake,
or
shake,
actually,
shake.
maybe something else, because
Because
now
I'm
that it's
already
poisoned.
poisoned, so it might be. So let me see what else I got going on. So I've got throwing knives. I've got a tentacle lash.
And that does another thing, right? Blinding
Right,
it, maybe?
but if it's already blinded,
But
and if I roll any of those symbols, it gains
Yeah.
blinded, which is nice.
That's just going invisible
That's
again.
just going invisible again. So I think I'm going to do tentacle lash because that seems kind of fun. And I've got 2 left, so I've got enough to do that. And there's no cooldown
Yeah,
for
so this just stays in her hand. So she can tentacle lash till the heart's content.
All right, so I'm going to need 3 white, and then I get a +1 because the star on my player level gives me a +1 attack. And I don't get to choose a die face because I'm not working with
Where
that.
does it? Oh, it doesn't cool down.
No cooldown for this, but let's cross fingers.
Roll well.
Oh, I might.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. That is not a great roll.
Because that was a terrible roll. All right.
What are we looking for? Just damage, or does anything else happen?
So if
Oh, you need one of those symbols.
Right, because it's going to add +2 attack. And
Yeah. So at least.
So yeah.
Roll a symbol or some damage or both.
Not
you know?
a +2 attack,
That'd be
but
great.
it'll gain blinded. If it was already blinded, I would have gotten a +2 attack.
Oh!
Woo! Much better.
Talk about that. Maybe the best usage of one of those tokens in history.
Shoo!
So it's going to take 4 physical damage, and it's going to get blinded, which is
Yes.
over there at the top.
There it is.
Blinded. This minion's range is reduced to 0. That's not a big deal. It was 0 anyway. When they attack, the target origin may re-roll one of their die. So that's kind of cool. So we can mitigate its die in our favor. And this is going into the 2 slot as
Yes,
well?
going into the 2 slot. And so let me see. So if I rolled any of these, the target gains blinded, and my attack is 4 + 1, so it's 5. It defends against 2, so it takes 3 damage.
Not bad.
I know. I think that's probably
How many? 3 damage?
3 damage.
Down to 20. And,
That's right.
and that's all your actions,
That's
right?
it. I'm done.
And I haven't even gone.
Okay, now, beginning of your turn.
But I am bleeding.
So you go down a little bit
So
because
I'm
you're
going to
bleeding.
take my actions up to 4.
Yep.
I am bleeding, so I go down to 3. This ain't good.
No, it's not
This
good.
ain't good. Usually in the tutorial, it was me
He was
saving
crushing
her.
it.
This crocodile took a bite. So my actions, I think I'm going to start with, what's the one?
They're poisoned and they're blinded.
I'm starting with that. Decaying Touch. So because it's poison, Decaying Touch is going to take 2 of my actions. It's 4 blue die, which is solid, +1. And it says if your target is poisoned, this attack deals undefendable damage. So his -2 doesn't matter. So everything I roll here is going to go in. And then if I roll any of those symbols, it's going to get bleeding as well, which would be awesome to have it poisoned, bleeding, and blinded. How could we lose against a crocodile like that? This is going to go into the 1 slot.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll these 4 die.
It's a lot. Oh.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
And it's all undefendable, right?
That's fair.
I mean, I don't re-roll that, right? I stick with that.
I think I like it because you still have enough to do something else.
The only bad thing is it's not bleeding, which is okay. That's okay. That's fine. So 4 undefendable damage. That takes it down to 16.
That's not bad.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I'm going to keep chanting that until I'm dead. And that cost me 2. I have 2 more things to do. All my actions are 2.
What about your sword?
Except my sword is 2 as well.
Sure.
And I might do that because
Okay.
it's got some decent damage.
Oh, what about your swarm?
The swarm is pretty good. Oh man, I wish it was bleeding now. If they were bleeding, this mosquito swarm would let me roll 3 blue instead. And if I roll any of that special symbol, I heal whatever damage I do.
Ooh, that would have been good for you.
Oh, actually, the healing part happens whether they're bleeding or not. So hopefully I can, and the white die do have those. So I think I'm going to do that because I need to heal badly.
Okay.
This is going into the 2 slot. I'll put that there under bleeding. And roll 3 white dice.
So we don't forget and not cool it down.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And you get a +1 on that,
I get a
too.
+1.
Okay.
So hopefully a good roll, good roll. Not bad.
Not bad
So
at all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You didn't roll any of those symbols, though, so you don't get to heal. Unless you want to try to re-roll.
Oh, I think I push it. Because
Okay.
that's a lot of damage going in.
I agree. I mean,
It's not undefendable. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 2. So he's just going to take 3.
3's
I
not
don't know.
nothing.
What's on these white die? There's just one of those symbols. No, I'm not going to reroll.
Okay. So it takes...
Although I can just reroll one for free because I'm using my sword.
You did not. You used this.
I
told you!
And use my sword? Yeah, the sword does have a cool effect. I'm rolling 3 white die plus 2, and then I can re-roll one of them just naturally. But it didn't have that healing effect, so I'm sticking with this.
3 damage.
5 minus 2 is 3. It is down to 13. Lucky number 13. And that's the end of our combat round.
Right.
So,
Yep.
the end of my turn, things cool down, which makes Decaying Touch come back into my hand. Mosquito Swarm and Bleeding go down to 1.
I need to also cool down.
Oh, you didn't cool down?
I did not.
That's all right. Yeah, it's easy to forget the cooldown. And the crocodile's only gone once, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's easier to remember at the end of your turn or at the end of just... Because we're using at the end of every round, everybody's
You're
just
supposed to do it at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Because I guess things could happen in between, maybe.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
No.
I don't know.
Hey,
But-
I'm not going to question. Just trying to make sure we don't forget.
So the round marker is going to go down,
Yep.
right?
Yes. That was
So
correct
this got
there.
moved a little bit. Yep. So we're down to 5.
Okay.
And then we're back at the top of the order with the crocodile.
Okay.
So the crocodile's going to
Black
roll the black die.
die.
You want to roll it again?
Come on.
You might want to take this, by the way.
Do you want to roll it then?
It doesn't matter. If it's the boot, we can choose. And if it's the other
right.
thing, it's you.
All right.
It's the
me.
other thing.
All right.
Hopefully
fine.
it doesn't do as much to you as
Okay.
it did to me.
So what does the crocodile roll again?
Crocodile is 3 white plus 2, but it's blinded.
Yes.
So you get to re-roll one of his dice. Yeah, you get to re-roll one of his dice. And one of these things... Oh, yeah. What's that say right there?
When blinded, minions attack you may re-roll 2 of their die instead of 1.
Yeah, so you can re-roll 2 of their dice, which is actually fantastic. So it's 3 white die plus 2. Roll it up. Oh, right. Okay, this is not bad because you've got the re-rolls. We can re-roll up to 2 dice.
Yep.
So you can defend 1. So I almost feel like we wouldn't want to risk re-rolling that maybe to get one of those symbols.
Yep.
And if you re-roll that, you might get no symbol.
Yeah. And I would
So
prefer
just do that. No symbol. Okay, it is a symbol, but it's not the symbol. That's fine. So the alligator is doing, that's 2 plus 2, 4 against you.
Yep, I defend
Minus
2.
your 2.
So I take 2.
2 damage.
It's not terrible.
That's way better than what happened to me.
Okay.
You're at 5, I'm at 3. And that's the alligator's turn. You know what we forgot to do?
What's that?
The alligator, at the beginning of his turn, he was poisoned, so he's going to take 2 undefendable damage. And now, at the end of his turn, those cool down.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few things to track. You just got to remember to do it at the beginning of anything's turn. at the end of anything's turn.
All right.
Beginning
of your turn.
Now it's us. It's me or you.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I felt like I just went.
I think... Oh, yeah, I really want that mosquito swarm back is what I want. Yeah, I'm going to try that.
All right. Well, at the beginning of your turn,
Decaying
you're still
touch.
bleeding.
Oh, I am still bleeding. Oof. I just
Yeah.
sat there and reminded everyone
I
to
know.
do things, and then I forgot. I'm down to 2. That's going to go away soon. I will spend 2 points from 4 down to 2 to do another decaying touch. It's 4 blue, plus 1. Hopefully this does well.
Not bad.
Horrible. Lots of symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
5. Plus, I rolled one of those symbols, so now it is bleeding.
Nice.
So get the bleeding out.
That's right. Taste of your own medicine.
Oh, yeah. So the bleeding's going there. It's just like it is with us. And how many damage I did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct.
Minus 2, so he's taken 3 damage.
That's not bad.
That isn't bad. So 3 from 11, he's down to... we're doing pretty well.
All right.
Like, hopefully I don't get killed on the next thing, but I think maybe we could take it out, because I have another action. You still have 2 actions left?
I haven't even gone yet,
yeah.
so you still have enough to do a little something else.
All right. But now it's just going to be my sword, because I don't really... I'm still bleeding, so I can't run around with my battering ram.
You could re-roll a die with your sword if you don't like it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll use my sword. It's 3 white plus 2.
Nice.
And I can re-roll 1. Oh!
That's great!
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. I'm not going to re-roll any of that.
No.
7 minus 2.
That's 5.
5. That's a lot of damage.
That's great, sweetheart.
Down to 3. I have every confidence that you're going to take it out.
Fingers crossed.
Every confidence. We'll turn off if she doesn't, we'll turn off the cameras, because she'll probably be very upset with me.
All right. You
that
cool
I
down.
jinxed her. Yes, I cool down, so decaying touch comes back into my hand.
That goes down to 0 again.
Bleeding goes away.
All right.
And mosquito swarm comes back into my hand.
All
and I'm
right.
at 2 health.
Nice.
You must kill it.
All right. I am still invisible, which is fantastic. I could do my tentacles again, or I can... I'm going to go ahead and use my assassin's dagger, because if I am successful in rolling one of those symbol die, it's going to get poisoned again.
Yeah,
so the
re-up
poison, would come back, which seems to be pretty nice for us.
No, it's pretty good. I'm hoping you'll just take it out, though. Is that your most strong attack?
It is a 2 blue versus 3 white. You know what? I'm going to use this, because hopefully I just take it out and it's not even going to matter whether or not it's poisoned again. So I'm just going to use the tentacle lash, which means I get 3 white. And then it's a +1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. There is no cooldown for this. And fingers crossed, I roll well.
That's not so well.
That's not.
But
if they're blinded,
it gets re-blinded. Do you want to? No, you don't have your.
But if it's already blinded, it gets +2 on the attack.
Oh.
Yep.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. So it does re-blind it, and it gets a +2 to the attack, which makes your roll a
3-4.
3-4 minus the 2. Well, that was not bad.
Not bad.
So it's down to 1. All you need to do is 1 little tiny attack. That was your first of 2 actions.
I'm going to try that again.
I think we've got this. I think we've got this.
I think I'm going to try that again. Are we ready?
Yes.
I did 2 plus 2.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it is
because it's
2.
already blinded.
So 4. That's plenty.
That's
it. That's it. Crocodile down.
Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, boy. That same joke just went into my mind, and I kept myself from saying it.
No, man. You cannot...
Good thing she was here.
You cannot suppress those things.
So the crocodile is out.
All right. So this goes back. This all goes
by
back.
the way, we didn't move this down after our last combat round. So that should be down at 4 before the... Or was that actually... No, that was our... That was just our second time through?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So let me finish all of my after turn stuff. So my tentacles go back. This all cools down, which means this effect goes away. I'm no longer invisible, but I still have that secondary effect on that card because it's still face up.
Yeah, and now we're not in great shape. I am going to suggest... Now, I don't know. We'll have to rewind and check this out, whether or not we moved the round tracker down enough times. I think we only did 2 full rounds of combat, though. Maybe 3.
I think 3.
So the first round, yeah, I think we should be down at 4, is my guess then, because the first round is when the water came in.
Oh, you're right.
So it should be here, or at least for now, since it's over. So that's the combat situation. Now we can explore again. Let's
And we're
see.
still in that spot.
Or
Yeah.
rest.
Do we have stuff in the holding area or no? No.
We don't have any. Well, we do have the cliff face in the holding area.
Oh, you're right.
So we could just get out of dodge. Because, like, I don't know what else we want to look for. I'm at 2. You're at 5.
Yeah. I'm okay. But
What do you want to do?
Let's make an exit.
So we can move up to the cliff face, and we won't ever know what happened at any of these other locations. But I think, honestly, in this game, sometimes you just want to get out.
Right.
Like,
Because you might discover another crocodile.
you can explore some stuff, but yeah, we don't want to mess around right now because I could die.
Right.
So the party may go to Fort Joy entrance, page 5. So this is where we're going to move on to a new location. We will never know, although I'll actually look through and see what we missed. But we'll never know, theoretically, what the rest of these spaces held. But we remove all of these. And when you go to locations, everything is going to wipe. So we're going to heal up, back up to our max. I'll be at 9, you'll be at 7. If we'd used our traits, then we would flip those up. Everything gets taken off of the cooldown track. We're going to...
We get our sources back.
We get our sources back. I never used my source.
You didn't. Oh. He was afraid.
And I'm going to flip the page to... So there's the Upper Beach. The Upper Beach is a whole nother location. Spoiler alert. Fort Joy entrance, which we'll get to in a second, because before we do any of that, we'll have to reorganize these cards later. We flip this board over here,
Ooh.
and this is what we do on the interlude. So some of the things we've already done. You level up if we were instructed to. We were not, so we don't level up. We revive and recover. We did that. Each origin refills their source. Did that. Restore talents. I talked about that. Equip and trade, this allows us to, like, if we'd picked up anything, items, we could say, oh, you know, I'm going to use that sword now instead of this other sword.
Okay.
And then visit the merchant.
Ooh, we go shopping.
Yes. When we visit the merchant, we'll do this as best we can here. When you visit the merchant, you're going to deal out some cards. There's an entry fee. It says, choose an equipment deck of your current level or lower and pay gold equal to its level. So that's the equipment deck.
Okay.
And it's level what?
1.
So we have to pay 1 of our gold.
Okay.
To enter. Then it says reveal 1 item per player plus 1. So let's put those right here.
Okay.
So we've got the copper band, an air staff, and the thieves blade, which are all pretty slick. The thieves blade is probably something for you.
Looks like a kitchen knife.
It does look like a kitchen knife. Its attack is 1, just like your thing. It's 2 blue.
That's mine.
Just like your thing. It says when you attack with this, you are invisible. If you are invisible, roll 1 extra blue, and for each of those symbols, add +2 damage. So it's different than yours. But it's also one-handed, so you can have both of these daggers.
Ooh, yeah, because I can have over here.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, there's more stuff that the merchant has. But the air staff is 3 blue plus 1. It's also like an electric or charged weapon.
Oh, not an immediate action.
No, that's not an immediate action. Other board games. It says when you attack with this, if you roll one of those symbols, your space becomes charged. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So you could charge the area, and then maybe there's some other attacks that would benefit charged. And then the copper band, this just says once per round when you make an attack, a physical attack, you may reroll a die. Simple as that.
All right.
So the other thing that the merchant does, though, same number from your choice of the 4 consumable decks. So you put that over there and take the red deck. And the consumable deck has scrolls and potions and grenades and arrows.
Okay.
We don't need arrows. We don't need, I don't know. I don't know anything about these grenades or anything. I would be curious to see what the scrolls hold, personally.
Okay.
So let's. What do you think? Scrolls or potions?
Let's do scrolls, just because. Yeah.
So reveal 3 scrolls as well. I'll push these up.
Okay.
So we've got Earthquake Scroll, a Tornado Scroll, and a Resurrection Scroll. And this is basically what the merchant has on display for us to buy. All of these things, well, the scrolls are all 3 gold, and the items are all 2 gold, which is up here in this corner. But the scrolls are no joke. The Earthquake Scroll is 5 blue plus 1. But no, it doesn't have cooldown. You just discard it.
One and done.
It's a one and done. So these are all going to be probably very powerful, but they're one-time spells. This attack also targets all oily. I'm sorry, it doesn't say only. Need to get my glasses checked. All oily and difficult terrain spaces on the map. If you roll any of the special symbols, all targets are stunned. So it's an area effect, too. So if there's ever a fight where there's multiple things, this will do damage to all of them.
That would be all right.
So all of these do some cool things, but we have 5, 6, 7 gold to play with.
Yep. So we can really just buy 2 items and a scroll at max.
That's the math. I think that's what we should do.
That's math.
We can't buy 2 scrolls and an item. That's just how math works. So why don't you pick a scroll? Do you want this dagger, I assume?
I mean, why not?
I think that's a good buy.
Sure.
Because it just gives you options.
Yep.
Because that dagger, this one doesn't do a lot of damage, but that one seems like it could do more damage.
Potentially, yes.
So that's 2 of our gold. I think we're going to spend it all, right? The air staff doesn't do anything for me, but I wouldn't mind having this ring so I could reroll my attack.
Sure.
So I'll take that.
Okay.
Plus I have space for it. And then what scroll? The other scroll is Tornado, which is kind of like that. It does something dimmer. It's 4 white plus 1 for now. And just does different effects and extra damage. And then the Resurrection Scroll is if there's a target downed, you can use this to bring them back at full health. Oh. Normally, if a target is downed, you can use a revive action in their space or adjacent to them so that you basically filter off or siphon off some of your health and give it to them. So if I was down at 0 and she had 7, she could give me 3 and she'd still be at 4. With this, you could just use this and bring me back to 9.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I definitely like this as an option.
I will leave it to you.
But I kind of want to see some of these
Some big
things
damage?
Yeah, like if we get into an area where we had more than one crocodile, or we're just surrounded by a bunch of bad guys.
If we die in the next scenario, if I die in the next scenario, let her know in the comments.
Dims the brakes.
All right, so is it going to be the Earthquake one? Because that seems like the most, it's 5 blue.
It's the coolest.
Yeah. All right, so we've spent all of our money. This one doesn't need, this one can just go in your backpack. You going to have it?
Sure.
All right. So we visited the merchant, and now we're at Fort Joy. So this is where we're going to leave it off, though. So Fort Joy, we don't want to ruin more of the story, but there's going to be some things. I think some of the journal cards we saw said that Fort Joy was going to maybe be where we look for Dark Hand? I don't know.
It was definitely pointing us in that direction.
The guys that we met on the beach said there was someone. Oh yeah, the guys on the beach mentioned that Dark Hand was there because someone named Griff in Fort Joy gave him some money.
Part of the overheard conversation.
And maybe we can join up with Griff and get some coin as well. But anyway, we will save that for the next time we play. But that's all we're going to do on camera for you today in this round 1. I think we have shown you just about everything there is. There's exploration, at least in the beginnings of the game.
Yeah.
Exploration, some of the narrative, some of the checks that go on. We fought at least a crocodile and survived. We can tell you, this game is no joke on the difficulty. It can go very quickly.
Yeah.
We did survive the tutorial, but she had gotten knocked down in the
Twice.
first
First
action.
turn, first thing I did, it was like dead.
Yeah, the first attack took her out. And honestly, for a minute, we had to sit there and go, wait a minute, really?
Is that it? Like, I just started this. Can I stop? Is that what?
So I went and revived her. I think I had to revive you again.
A couple of times.
So
it was a rough turn for me.
Both of our health was very low then, too.
Yeah.
I think we did slightly better on the health front.
Yes.
But we also did mess around in that one. We didn't mess around as much in this one.
No, lessons learned.
Yeah. If you have any questions about anything we did here today or any more of the game that we're going to play, please make them in the comments below. We'll get down there and answer whatever we can. Until next time, though, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.